Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Okay, everybody, so let's go ahead and bring up the supplies so we can get started with the last card of the year. So this is going to be, as I said before, a birthday card, and this is my last birthday card that I have to make for the year. So now my card measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've taken and scored it in half to make it a 4.25 by 5.5 inch card. The other thing that I've done is I've gone ahead and run it through my Cuttlebug folder, or my Doris folder, I'm sorry, and this is the chevron folder. And then I also went ahead and took my Tim Holtz Distress ink, the walnut stain, and went around on my edges. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start layering. So this is just some plain craft cardstock, and I'm going to show you also something that I did when we were doing the print and cut. As you remember, we went ahead and we cut out our circle with the vintage paper silhouette file that we put in the inside. So to do this, I needed to run this through my printer, and I used a 8.5 by 11 sheet of craft cardstock. So then what I had left over was just this one piece with this hole. And you know how I don't like to waste paper, so what I did was I cut that in half, and that is what I used for my card. Now you will notice on the back you have that registration mark right there, but that's okay. I'm going to put something to cover that as well. So let's start going ahead and putting our layers on. So what I'm going to add first of all on the card is I'm going to add this washi tape. And I've made a mark where I want this to go. Now this I just cut with my scissors. So what I did was I measured it out, and then I folded it in half, and then cut it at a 45-degree angle so I could get my point. So we're going to just take this and add this onto our card. So let me get the tape backing off. I always sometimes have trouble doing that. So I'm going to take that, and I got this washi tape. I think it was in the dollar bin at Michael's, and at the time that I bought it I thought, well, I know everybody's using washi tape a lot. I never saw that I'd have a need to use it, but it just so happened that it came in handy for this card, so I am glad that I did have it on hand. So now let's add our next piece. And that is going to be this piece right here. And remember, this is just the same vintage paper wording that is a silhouette file that we put in the inside of our ribbon banner. So this is just some plain white cardstock, and the wording came out to be this color. So what I've also done is inked my edges using the Tim Holtz Distress ink, and this is the brush corduroy. So we're going to add this onto our card, and I'm just going to line this up where I think I want it. We know we want it to meet at the top here. So we're just going to use our Tombow adhesive to get this on. So this is going to be a really quick one, and it's just a lot of layering technique. So I'm going to open up my card so we can just line this up. And as I said, I'm not measuring to get it even on both sides. I'm just going to lay it down by eyeballing it. And then I'm just going to press down. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add our next layer. And this is just some plain black cardstock. And I don't know if the camera picked that up, but what I did was I once again used an embossing folder. And this embossing folder is a Cricut Cuttlebug folder. This one is called Modern Wallpaper. So it looks like this. And we're going to add this to the card, and once again we're going to be using just our Tombow. So I'm going to get some tape on here, and then we'll add this piece, and I'm just going to kind of line this up in the center here and press that one down. So now let's go ahead and add our next layer, and this is our small ribbon or banner piece. And this one I went ahead, because I did this and printed it out in a color, I decided I really didn't like that color. I wanted it to be just a little bit darker. So once again I took the brush corduroy and went ahead and inked all around, and we're just going to add that, and that's going to be right there in the center. So once again we're going to use our Tombow, and we're going to line this up in the center as best as we can. No measuring here, because we know I don't like to measure, so I'm just eyeballing everything. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add our next piece. Now this is the frame piece, and I did use the chevron embossing folder again, and this is just some black cardstock. I believe this is Recollection, some scraps that I had left over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my top piece on here, and we talked about how you use the print and cut feature to do this piece. So I've already got foam tape packed on the back of here, and I probably should have put this on before I put the foam tape on, but at one point when I was designing this I was going to pop this up as well, but I changed my mind. So let's get our tape on the back of here as well, and we're using our Tombow again, and I'm just going to line this up and place this down across here, and then I'm just going to press down. So now we can go ahead and put our piece on here, and we'll take off our foam tape backing, and we'll line this up and press down. So now we're just ready to add our last piece, which is going to be our happy birthday. And it looks like I'm going to have to press that down a little bit harder there. The embossing may be what's raising it up a little bit. So now we're ready to add our happy birthday. Now I did print this out in white cardstock, and then I took the brush corduroy again and just distressed the white. And that's going to go right across there, and we do have this popped up on some foam tape or foam squares. So we're going to take our backing off, and then we'll add this to the card, and then our card will be done. Well, you know, I got to add just something else there, not necessarily a little bling, but just a little bit added embellishment. So I'm going to need to pull this toward me for just a second so I can see if I can get this lined up, because of course I didn't mark where I wanted it to go on there. So there it is. There is our card. So I'm going to add my last embellishment, and then I'll come back with the finished card. Okay everybody, so I am back with my finished card. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and added these candy and my points on the card, and I put one up here at the top. Since I couldn't add the bling, I just wanted to add just a little bit more to the front of the card. And then I've gone ahead and made an envelope, and this envelope is from a paper pack called Antique Dots. And I picked that up at Hobby Lobby, and I've used this before to make my envelopes. And I use my We Are Memory Keeper board that I got from Skylar to make my envelope. So that's it, everybody. This is the last birthday card of the year. So stay tuned because I'll be doing my Christmas series using my silhouette. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.